Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Hakuna La Planta. My name is Kevin, and today I'm gonna show you my entire Hoya collection. Who's excited? The last time I did this, I think was around February of this year. Lots of new growth, lots of new Hoyas. I actually haven't counted how many Hoyas I have. So before you watch this video, can y'all leave a comment of your guess? How many Hoyas do you think I have? Now, I'm talking just like one variety, so I'm not counting if I have two Hoya Mathilde plants. If it's like a Mathilde splash versus a regular Mathilde, I'll count that as two different ones. Oh my God, what am I gonna guess? 30? That's my guess. I just have multiples of a lot of them. I'm gonna guess 30. Am I gonna be so wrong? I feel like I'm gonna be so wrong. Okay, I wanna start with the big ones because, girl, Hoya Clemensiorum. Again, one of my favorites. I don't know, I'm going like this. My girl, my girl. Here she is. I'm just gonna rotate her a little bit. It's actually insane to me. I get a lot of questions about the origins of this specific plant, and I unfortunately don't have any information. So I don't know what kind of Clemensiorum this one is. And regardless, whatever type of Clemensiorum you get, I feel like they're just beautiful. Again, the veining, the splashing, the undersides of the leaves. It's just amazing. The roughness on the sides, just the texture. I think it's hilarious because if you watch my favorites video, I was like, oh, this is a new leaf. So she like hardened off after. I don't know why she's this small. Randomly, she started pushing out so many leaves. This is a new leaf as well. This is a new leaf. These two in the center here. Like there were a lot of new leaves towards the end of the summer. And look at this weird one. I don't know if it's gonna, do you see how weird it is? I have always grown this Clemensiorum in Leca. She came to me in an arid mix and I was like, no ma'am, let's get you out of there. Okay, there's still a little bit of a reservoir. So if y'all can see, the roots have been sitting in the reservoir. It has grown out of the net pot. In my history of growing this plant, the roots have been sitting in the reservoir and I haven't experienced any rot issues as far as I know. So my general rule is if the roots are fine, if the plant isn't showing any signs of just being unhappy with that, then I just keep them sitting in the reservoir. I've just been so impressed with how the Clemensiorum has really coped with that. She has a grow light just there. These top leaves here are probably getting 2,000 to 3,000 foot candles. Obviously lower in the plant, these leaves are probably getting like 500 to 1,000. And you could see I burned this leaf. This leaf was up against the grow light. And I find it interesting. Every time I see pictures of this plant, I find that the leaves are flatter, whereas mine, they curve a lot. I don't know if it's the nutrient solution that I'm giving it, but a lot of these leaves are like curved more, and I don't know if that's supposed to happen. Is that supposed to happen? I have no idea. I want to say this is one of the flatter leaves here, because when I got her, I think these might be leaves that she came to me with. They're kind of flat. I don't know. It looks so different from the rest of the plant. I don't know if it's because they're older, but anyhow, I really want to start this off with a beast. Probably my top 3 favorite Hoyas at the moment. So amazing. The Hoya Clemensiorum. Gotta stand back here for this one. Hoya cutis-porcelana. Man, oh man, I am never gonna let go of this plant. She is so underrated. I can't even start. I'm gonna go off. I'm not gonna go off. This is supposed to be a calm, relaxing video. Girl. But girl, this is the best time. I'm just gonna take the sachets away. It's the best time because there are 3 points, I think, where there's flowers. The light is really blasting it, but I don't know what y'all can see. Do you see? These flowers are so stunning. It's hard to describe, but like it is very porcelain-like, hence the name. I don't know, I love it. I always think they look like star hues, like the color and even the center, it's the same color. I love, if we go this way, look, there's more, y'all. There's more over here. There's more over here. And there's a little cute one over here. Cute, there's only 2. So beautiful. Now, again, I feel like this Hoya doesn't get a lot of attention because the leaves might look pretty plain. But here's the thing, this Hoya is super fast, first of all. And once she gets to bloom, it is one of my favorite scents. It's very sweet and it's not overpowering. Ooh, it's hard. Oh, I don't know what these smell like, guys. I've had this plant for the longest time. It's in my top 5 oldest Hoyas, I think. So she's been living in, I say pond all the time. There are pieces of leca in here in a self-watering pot. She's been in this pot for like 2 years now, and I have not, like, you don't have the ability to flush this plant. So I've just been adding nutrient solution on average once a month. Any watering in between, I just add plain tap water, and she obviously is okay with it. She's under a grow light. You can see some burning. So when she's touching, she'll burn, but when she's like kind of close, she'll sun stress a little bit, which is amazing. Oh my gosh. I do want to do specific like Hoya videos and my experience and like that kind of thing. So I'm trying not to like go on and on and on about them, but they're just so pretty. They're so pretty. Second plant, Hoya cutis-porcelana. Y'all know I was gonna start with the ones that I love so much. The Hoya Mathilde Splash. Can I just say, I am so happy with this plant. And I'm probably gonna cut it down a little bit. I'm trying to cut down the green vine so you can see here that from that node with that green leaf, she's pushing out a set of green leaves. I'm gonna wait probably for 2 more pairs of leaves on this tendril. And then if they're green, I'll chop the entire vine off and then propagate it in just like a regular Mathilde planter. I really just want to keep this one silver splashy. I'm so happy to see this vine. Like, do you see this new vine that branched? I don't think this is one of the main vines. Look at that new set right over here. The one previous, super splashy. And I'm trying not to break anything because you know me, I always break things. But the Hoya Mathilde Splash, this one specifically, is just my babes. So sometimes you just like never know. Like this vine, because I trained the tendril down, it had to push out new growth from one of the top nodes. And that node is this pear, which isn't that splashy. Isn't that wild? But I don't know, it's coming from this side and it's super silver. Wow, just incredible. These leaves are just my favorite. This really was my goal. Knowing the Mathilde grows really fast, I didn't want to chop it down because she was already so beautiful. I just thought since she's a fast grower, since I know that she's gonna force splashy new growths from the nodes of these splashy leaves up here, I just kind of crossed my fingers and hoped that they would push splashy leaves. Obviously there are high odds with the type or the amount of splashing on these leaves, but you never know, because look, like, where did those green leaves come from? And also this vine down here. Probably gonna chop this one down also, and then just put it in like a new semi-splashy planter propagations, we'll see. Oh my god, I don't know, they kind of look like eggs. You know those I'm thinking of Easter. You know the speckly eggs? I don't know. But there is a clear trellis. This is the large acrylic trellis that I got from North Shore Tropicals. Y'all. So this is one of my Mathilde splashes. This is one of the splashier ones. And this is a little less splash, which is okay. But yeah, this is a result of just cutting kind of like half and half splash and green leaves off of that existing mother just to promote growth from a new node. And I crossed my fingers that they would push out more splash at different nodes, and they did. And I mean, there's nothing wrong. Like you can see, I'm just keeping her as is. I'm not really cutting back unless it's like fully green, but there's a lot. There's a lot of splash. I made the decision to let this trail. I know I put cake dowels, but I think I like it. I think I really like it. I forgot to mention that both of these are in Le Chouza Pond, and these are 2 said propagations that I don't know if they're gonna make it. This one's so wrinkly, and it's because every time I've come to realize, every time I do my pond method where I just keep the water level really high, if I don't have like a visual flag, like in the form of an indicator on those self-watering planters, I tend to forget, and so that's why you get the wrinklinesses. And these are pretty dry. I pulled one out like maybe a few days ago. I think it was this one, and she had a root. I'm just gonna put more water. The Mathilde Splash along with the Mathilde, they don't necessarily need a lot of light, but for example, both of those specimens are right under grow lights. I want to say getting 1,000 to 2,000 foot candles, but that is ultimately the key to get the fast growth that I've experienced. And obviously just having healthy roots, enough aeration in the roots, and just keeping on top of like the watering. Sticking to the theme of silvery, I don't know what that was. Silvery foliage, Hoya, Carnosa, Gray Ghost. I probably look at this one the least because, you know, she's kind of doing her thing. She doesn't cause any issues. You can see that she's living in Lekka in a self-watering planter, and tendrils galore. I mean, come on. Silver Hoyas are everything. I'm gonna show you my Nova Ghost after. Wild, just wild. But yeah, I've grown to like this dusty silver. I really, really like it. And I mean, oh, she hit me. I mean, obviously I do like it when it's more solid, but let's just do a pan around the circle. We're just looking at the whole circle. I don't know if that was weird. I'm using 2-wire trellises. I got them from Crystal Star Nursery. I like them because you can manipulate what they look like. So I just kind of like bent this one into a circle. And I think I used 2 because I was worried about like the stability. Oh my God, look at these cute leaves. Look at these new leaves. I never really see the new leaves because she's kind of on this middle row where she has like 2 gigantic Hoyas on either side. So she's sandwiched like that. And so I never really get an opportunity to see her. Look at these leaves. Are you kidding? Oh my God, there's more on the tendril. Can you focus please on the cutenesses? Doesn't want to focus. I get questions about my experience when it comes to like, does a Hoya need a trellis? And it really, really, really depends. My experience with the gray ghost is that if you give it enough light and she's not on a trellis, she will continue to push out leaves. Eventually, no matter how much light you give it, if she's trailing and she's long, I haven't experienced any leaf growth. I've just seen a long tendril. But yeah, can we take everything in? We just need to take it all in. Because I don't see this one enough. Okay, I think this is one Hoya. In my experience, the roots are okay for a little bit in the reservoir, but they don't like sitting there for too long. That's just my experience. It might be different for everyone else, but y'all. Oh my God, this leaf was crushed. Look at how this leaf is so crinkly. She was like up against 2 tendrils and she was like slamming. They were slamming her. I am so happy to showcase this one because I never show this one on my channel, but the 4th plat is the Hoya Gray Ghost. Oh my God. Hoya Nova Ghost. She's in bloom for the very first time. The very first time. And I'm trying to be careful. I don't know what they smell. I don't know. Aren't Carnosa blooms, aren't they supposed to smell like chocolate or like Tootsie Rolls or something? I mean, some of I think it's funny because some of the flowers look so long, but that's okay. I don't care. Like, look at these. So beautiful. It's hard. I don't think y'all can see it on camera, but it's like mostly like a white cream flower. The backs, they kind of look light pink. I'm trying to show it. Do you see right there the pinks? I don't know what y'all can see, but look at, but you know, not looking at the flower. Look at this. Look at the foliage, everyone. Look at the material. I can't. This is so pretty. Absolutely wild. This one. Do I have another one? I swear I had another one. Did I? Oh, I do. Oh my God, I forgot about that one. Oops. There's just something, and y'all saw it with the previous ones, there's just something about a full Hoya on a trellis. It is everything. So this, surprisingly, because the other plants I showed you before, they did have multiple plants in the pot. This is one plant, and it just branched as I put the tendril around the trellis. It is one plant, and I can't believe how fast it grew. I'm pretty sure the gray ghost that I showed you, it was one plant as well. Are you kids? What's so bad? And she's in blue. And she's in blue. This is crazy. Something I'm trying to do now that she's like pretty full here, I'm trying to like train, let me rotate her. I'm trying to like train these tendrils like in the middle. Because can you imagine just having this hole covered? Very similar to the gray ghost. You get different kinds of silver, like this is more of a solid, but the majority of the leaves on this plant, they're more dusty silver. And like I said before, I have grown to just love that look. So this is the mama. If y'all remember, because I clearly didn't remember, I had cuttings. Let me just like grab them. They're like all the way back here. Undergrow, like kind of out of the way. Wow. I don't know. It looks so good. I think, are you dry? I can hear the water. Can you hear the water? Okay, she's fine. In I want to say January of this year. I propagate a bunch of my Hoyas, and you'll see them today. Oh my gosh, they are stunning. I can't believe they started out as these small, tiny cuttings. And I just want to sell them, but then I was like, I changed my mind. I don't want to sell these. I kind of wanted full Hoyas. Y'all, if you want your Hoyas to be full, propagate them down, put the cuttings in one pot. Anyhow, so that's what I did with this one. Look at this. Look at this beautiful planter. So this one's in pon, and I do want to say I still don't have that much experience growing the Novagos in pon. My mama has been in leca for so long. Just recently I moved these from perlite, that's the medium I use to propagate all of these, into pon. So I'm not gonna comment on like if pon is a good substrate. Obviously I am biased, but I actually haven't witnessed this grow into its lusciousness yet in pon. Look at this, I can't wait. And I put cake dowels because I want to do a trellis situation. I think I only put 2. I'm just super excited. Okay, Hoya Novagos. Guys, I'm having so much fun. Hoyas are they're my favorite. Let's just say that. I want to show you a large leaf Hoya that I don't show a lot. She kind of stalled a little bit because I propagated her down. Then I just robbed her. I was doing an experiment last year and I kind of wanted to prove that just to myself, because I keep saying the Hoyas need a lot of light. I want to see for myself how Hoyas would grow in lower light conditions. So I put this Hoya away from a grow light and she didn't do a thing. She didn't push out any leaves and she continued to push out tendrils. It wasn't even just that Hoya, it was all the Hoyas that did that too, except for the Mathilde. The Mathilde will just like keep growing. It is the Hoya Glabra Schlecter. I returned her under a grow light. She's up against my south facing window as well. And the summer just ended. So I mean, she was getting so much light. She did push out new leaves and she looks so amazing, guys. So amazing. There's a bug on the ceiling. I'm so scared. Can't reach it. She looks so funny. These are new. Oh my God, I'm on the floor. Can you see me? Okay. Hoya. Look at this Hoya. Hoya Glabra Schlecter. So the leaves that I didn't know that were new are these ones. So look at this beauty. Look at my hand. It's the size of my hand. Look at that. She's not hardened off yet. Then underneath, that is new also. And it's not hardened off yet. That's crazy. This is very difficult. I don't know how to do it. Oh, wow. Look at that. Anyone else? Oh, you're new too. Where are y'all coming from? Okay, this one's a bit wonk. Do you see that? Oh my God, this one on the inside is new too. When did this happen? This one right here. Oh my God. This big one is new. It's so hard to show y'all. Do you see this though? It's so big. Okay. Just touching all the leaves. This one's clearly new because she is a different color. I'm gonna try not to touch her. And let's just do a rotation while I talk about her. So I was blasting this under a grow light. Then I propagated her, returned her under a grow light. I think now she's pushing out these new leaves because she had such long tendrils with no leaves. And I think finally she was given the right conditions to push out these beautiful leaves. I can already feel, just because I'm very familiar with how heavy these pots are when they have a reservoir. This one is super light. I am planning to change my nutrients this week or next. Can I even like take this out? I don't know if y'all heard that. Oh my God. Oh no, I'm scared. See, okay, this is another one. It doesn't care. I don't think I've repotted this plant ever. And the roots, I almost dropped it. Oh my God. That'd be so funny. I snort. Okay, I am scared though. And you can see there are so many that are super dry. Future Kevin, zoom in. Do you see the fuzzier white roots? Those are healthy. There is going to be a question mark if these are okay after I introduce water. I know a lot of people take off the roots completely. I'm just going to introduce new nutrient solution, see what happens. It'd be different if I didn't see those white fuzzy roots at the bottom, but I do. So I'm just going to wait and see. And I'm not going to fill this all the way up here. I'm going to fill it probably just a little bit, monitor, and then if I see that she's doing okay, I'll add a little bit more. But anyhow, beast, look at this. She's never given me leaves bigger than this one. I mean, this one's pretty close. Like wideness, look at that. I am so impressed. This Hoya is so impressive. And I strongly believe, after my experiment, you need to blast this one with light. She literally didn't do anything for like 6 months because I didn't have this one under a grow light. It was just kind of relying on the south facing window and also just light from off to the side from grow lights. And she was on the floor, so she was getting dappled light just because other plants were above it. Anyhow, the Hoya Glabra Schlecter. Let's do another large leaf Hoya. Hoya. I just think it's, oh, sachet. I don't know. Such a love-hate relationship with this one. Hoya Archboldiana pink flowers. You know, along with my cutis-porcelana, I got my cutis-porcelana and this plant at the same time. The difference is the cutis-porcelana I've propagated many times, so fast to push out foliage. I have not propagated this plant once. So this is one plant and I just think it's hilarious because she looks kind of gross. Look at this. Look at this woody stem and then look at that. Like, the roots have really taken over. You can see also the accumulation of lots of salts. And I've said this before, I don't flush my plants in leca, like ever. And like I said, Hoyas can take a lot. So what I have learned about this plant, lots of light, but also feed this plant often if you're giving it the right conditions. So I always give these plants a lot of light. This plant is in the same situation as my Glabra, grow light, and then against the south-facing window. The summer is ending, so I'm gonna look and observe, you know, how she grows during the winter. I think she'll be okay under the grow light. This was another Hoya I experimented with where I took away the grow light and she didn't do a thing. Actually, absolutely nothing when she wasn't under a grow light. She's probably getting medium light at the time. And back to my point about frequent feeding. So y'all know that I lengthen my time between changing my nutrient solution. I usually just change every month, but in the summer, because all the reservoirs are drying out, I have switched back to every 2 to 3 weeks. We're at the 3-week mark right now, and that's why all these are pretty dry. But out of nowhere, there's like new growth. Like, that's new. These small cute ones up here, do you see that? These are new. And there's so many. I can't even explain. There's also a peduncle that's like waking up, but like I never get my hopes up with this plant. It did happen with my Kaimuki. Future Kevin, zoom in. That is like the furthest a peduncle has woken up for me. The first time this plant pushed out a peduncle was a year into owning this plant. And that was 3 years ago. So I have learned not to get my hopes up. You know, it's kind of the last thing that I want. I want this Hoya to bloom because similar to, this is not it, but my Hoya Kaimuki, she bloomed. The Archboldiana is one of like the parents when it comes to this hybrid, and the flowers are very similar, so I really want to see them. I really, really want to. It is outstanding. Like this, look at these new leaves, and you could tell because they're so shiny. Look at that. They're not even like fully hardened off. I know the roots have taken over the reservoir. One thing about this plant, I cannot take this cash po off the net pot, and it's because the roots are really, really grown into the reservoir. I just try my best not to fill it all the way, and she seems okay. She actually seems happier. I never recommend this plant. I never recommend this plant because I find that it takes a lot of patience to grow this plant. She'll push out tendrils if she doesn't have support. You need to give this a lot of light, so make sure you have a grow light. And I say this because of my experience growing this plant for 4 years, the Kaimuki for 3 years, and there was a point where I got the Variegated. I don't even know if that's how you say it. Those three are just so similar. Yeah, I don't know. It just takes a lot, in my opinion. I actually can't believe how full this plant is, and like, are you kidding? This is crazy. Okay, Hoya Archboldiana, pink flowers. A Hoya that I do recommend. Oh, what a beauty. This plant is such a beauty. Hoya New Guinea Ghost. So y'all know that I put a bunch in this big planter of leca. It's not leca, it's pod. It's pod, y'all. Attached to those clear trellises that I talked about before. And it just goes so perfectly. I do want to say that there was a little bit of a lag from the time taking her out of perlite and putting her into pond. The leaves did kind of feel wrinkly, and I was just very patient. I made sure I was blasting it with light, and you know, eventually, because these top leaves, they didn't exist before. So that's very exciting. There are plants that are smaller that are pushing out new growth down here. I don't know, this Hoya is everything. Oh my gosh. And the reason why I recommend this plant, it grows so fast. It really, really does. It grows so fast. And I only have experience growing this in Leca and Pon. Both mediums, just incredible. I did an experiment a year ago and the footage is gone, I deleted it, where I took wet sticks of Hoyas that had at least one node attached to the wet stick, unrooted. Just because I had a lot of tendrils from all these Hoyas when I propagated them, and the only Hoya out of the 10 that I did, the only Hoya that pushed out growth, it was a very small growth, it was the New Guinea ghost. It can grow, it can root and grow so quickly. All the rest of the wet sticks rotted, and anyhow, that kind of shows how resilient this plant was. And it wasn't even just one, it was, I don't know, it was a lot. This leaf is new, look at that. Yeah, not getting as much light as the other ones. I want to say 1,000 to 2,000. Not quite at the 3,000 number. I did previously grow this plant, reaching about 3,000 foot candles. And yeah, she's just gorgina. There's probably, I'm forgetting, 6 to 8 plants in this planter. And that's why she looks full. And the propagations. I got rid of the one that was living in Leca, and I just took all these props from it. And when you give it a lot of light, you see the pinks. Look at this. And you can see, because these weren't here before, it is super fast. I think it was a month ago that I propagated these. There's already small leaves. These leaves over here, they're all new. You can feel how juvenile they are, but these two, they just blend in perfectly. I'm mad at myself because I didn't do the cake dowel method, so I have to like repot these. I think at the time I didn't know what I wanted to do with them. I might separate them into more planters, just so eventually I can like maybe give one to my mom again. We will see. Ooh, comparison. Do you see the difference? This one's not that pink. Okay, I'm gonna, I almost dropped it. But yeah, the New Guinea ghost. Okay guys, so that was part 1. I decided to split this into 3 parts. So the second part will come out on Wednesday, how fitting for Wax Plant Wednesday, and then the last part on Friday. So I guess this is like Hoya week for all y'all Hoya lovers. So please, please, please come back for part 2 and 3 this week. Again, I have a Patreon, so I want to thank everyone in my Strawberry Shake tier and my Leca Drop tier, but a very special thanks to those in my Monstera Burley Marks Flame tier: Ryan Jones, Marnie McCallum, Gerda, Janice Upton, Francesco, Margot T, Remy Pabila, Lisa Mata, Shayna Nelson, Crystal, Casey Groves, Daniel Wilcox, Sam Pennypacker, Blaine B, Carlos Holling, Gina Alexandra, Coralyn Walters, Storm McCroy, Rocio Ramos, Kendra Prum, Stephanie McGinnis, Soda Rax, Danny Alley, Alicia D, Courtney Evans, Simone, Kiki in the Garden, Artie, Taylor Janik, North Lou, Benjamin Fraley, Sammy Vertanen, and Manny. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the very end, thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!